In the last couple of years, I've seen an increase of like people who romanticize mental illness, and they don't really romanticize it as a concept, but more so as an image. And like I feel like that image stems from, I would say, like media and the way, we kind of idealize the quiet, shy, low-key genius that doesn't talk much but actually has a mind full of ideas. If you know what I mean, then you know exactly what I mean when I say that. We romanticize the idea of the quiet one in class who doesn't talk, who sometimes gets bullied, and like is depressed, but probably will make music one day and become a fucking big artist. Like there's a sort of thinking, and sometimes I think it's a sort of quote unquote defense mechanism, or I don't know, where we try to explain certain behaviors by making them seem more glamorous than they are. Like I think for a lot of people, like that, a person cannot be just extremely depressed and in distress, and so therefore their suffering must have a meaning because one day they're gonna accomplish something big, if you know what I mean. Like this is what I mean by romanticize. When I say people romanticize, and sorry for my bad English, but when I say people romanticize mental illness, this is what I mean. It's the idea that mental illness in some way or another needs to have a purpose, or a or if it doesn't have a purpose, then the person needs to be bad in order for it to all make sense. You know what I mean? Like the if someone is schizophrenic and the person has done nothing remarkable in its life, like it's not an artist or whatever, then he needs to be a fucking asshole, or else it doesn't make sense. Like the fact that people just flat out suffer for no fucking reason, and they're not like outstanding. Like they don't do anything particular that is remarkable. Like meaningless suffering is a concept that I feel like not a lot of people understand, or they wish it didn't exist, at least. And yeah, so I've seen a lot of people romanticize and yeah, I think it's in part because of the media, because we've seen a lot of movies like fucking, I don't know, like Joker, or there's so many. There's so many movies in which either like the main protagonist is antisocial, like socially retarded guy, or the protagonist is like depressed as fuck, and you come to like the protagonist still, like in a or like in a Mr. Robot way, where its mental illness is actually like not really mental illness, but because like he's super smart and he doesn't talk to nobody and he's socially awkward as fuck and he's depressed as fuck, but it's okay because he's a big hacker, and he's a big fucking genius. And so, by the way, I know in this video I'll use the word mental illness a little bit loosely, uh, because for me, mental illness is really like, for example, if you have depression, in my book, you are mentally ill. Now, for me, mental illness is not really it's a spectrum. Like, there's some mental illnesses that are pretty benign, and there's some that are fucking horrible. Like if you suffer from severe psychosis, obviously it's not on the same page than minor depression or something like that. But still, I feel like a lot of people suffer and battle with some kind of mental illness, and as I myself suffer with some sorts of mental illness, from being pretty extremely socially anxious and depressed, chronically depressed and shit. Like, I know what I'm talking about when I say that this shit doesn't have any meaning. Like, there's no grand fucking finale for us mentally ill people. Like, I make this video, and it's like in a few years, like I'm gonna have fucking 400,000 subscribers, and fucking I'm gonna make a couple, like 6 figures a year. Like, it's not, for 99.9% of us, it doesn't end in any sort of glamorous way. Like, and so And so yeah, I kind of went on a tangent here, but I want to dive. The reason why I'm making this video is because I've seen. By the way, sorry if my chair is squeaking. It's fucking horrible chair. The reason why I'm making this video is because I saw a YouTube video the other day that was talking about being introverted, and more specifically why people are scared of introverted people. And I have a lot of problem with this video, mostly because this video kind of, I think maybe unknowingly shows the introverted people as superior and the non-introverted people as like superficial, or like, yeah, superficial, like, because the main argument was like introverted people are like in the quest of deeper connection. They don't like small talk, and so they don't waste their time with small talk and talking to people who are shallow. Basically, that was the kind of the idea of the video, and I think it's extremely disrespectful and antisocial and like fucking douchebag way of seeing the world. And but okay, so obviously I hated the video, but what I hated even more is the comments, because the comments are just full, and maybe I'll show it on screen if I can find the video again, but the comments are just full of people saying like, oh, I'm like that, I'm just smarter than everyone, oh, people just don't understand me, and I'm gonna stay like alone for my whole life because I hate people. And it's like a circle jerk of people validating their condition that will inevitably lead to something bad in the future, which is whether it's like depression, or god forbid suicide, or like that sort of thinking, like the thinking that I want to isolate, I want to be alone, I hate people, people don't understand me, I'm smarter than everyone. That sort of thinking will only, and I mean this really, like, I don't think there's any fucking exception, it will always lead to horrible things. And the reason why I know all of this is because I lived it. And this is why also I take it so personally, and why I need to talk about it. But I was that person. And I still am, to a certain degree, that person. I'm still fighting that person inside of me, which is that person who sort of feels like it's me against the world, and I'm special, and you know, like I have a special purpose in life, people don't understand me. Like this certain way of thinking has haunted me for a long time, mostly because, and I feel like that's a very common thing that happened in people with that as a child got told like they're intelligent or something. I feel like, or special in any way, it doesn't need to be intelligent, but can be like, oh, you are very good at sports, or you are very good at whatever it is. I feel like when you're a child and you get told that you are different for whatever reason, it fucks you up. I feel like on a deep level, and for life, but not necessarily for life. I mean, if you learn to deal with it, then it's not gonna be for life, but it fucks you up quite a bit. And I don't know. I really want to like explain it the best way that I can. Like, I feel like for a lot of people who think like that, they had a life of being scared of people or being misunderstood by people. Like the part that when people say, oh, the world doesn't understand me or whatever, sometimes it's a little bit true. There's some sprinkle of truth in there, whether it's like as a child they were so different that the other child didn't understand them or whatever. But the thing is that these scars are doing damage even in a time where this is not true. Like me, for example, like I could go out right now go into my local college, whatever, and find people that are similar to me, right? Like, I'm not fucking one in a million. You know what I mean? And the chances are that the everybody that watched this video and commented in the comments like, oh shit, I'm so special, whatever, chances are they're not that special either. And so this line of thinking makes you isolate yourself. And not only that, but you justify your isolation by thinking that you are in a way superior, or that you are the martyr of your own greatness. Like, oh, I'm so great, I'm destined to do something fucking amazing, and therefore my isolation is justified, you know? And this line of thinking will ruin so many people's lives. Like, because I'm not the only one who struggles with that, who has struggled with that in the past. Because I still kind of struggle with it, but it's not as bad as it was before. But I know I'm not the only one, and I know that videos like the video I saw are kind of it's kind of like telling a schizophrenic dude that his fantasies and that his ideas are correct. It's kind of the same thing. Sorry, I need to drink something. My mouth is super fucking dry. Give me a second. All right. Yeah, it's like telling a schizophrenic dude like, oh yeah, your fucking demons that you see in your room, they're all objective and they all exist. Like, you cannot say that shit. You just cannot. It's every time you affirm those delusions, you you like delay the healing process. And yeah, so if you are struggling with depression, anxiety disorders, don't romanticize that shit. Even if it's like, because obviously you can be like awkward socially because of like, I would say, quote unquote natural reasons. Like, for example, you got bullied as a kid or whatever. But you can also become that way because of neurological differences. For example, if you're neurodivergent, you have autism or whatever, then in that case, you can be extremely socially awkward for reasons that are completely out of your control. But I would say, even in that case, where it's because of your autism, and I've seen a lot of people with autism, and I suspect I don't really want to go there, but I suspect I might be neurodivergent myself. Even then, I would say to not ever fall into that pit of, oh shit, I cannot do anything about it, I'm just born this way. Even then, I would say, even if there's some sprinkle like there's some sprinkle of truth in there, please do not fall in that pit, because it's a pit that not only is very deep, but also it's it feeds itself. You know, like you're gonna feed of the energy of that pit. You know, you're gonna tell yourself, oh, okay. I'm gonna give you a clear example. Let's say, and I had a lot of YouTube channels back in the day that are like way higher production than this. Like, I used to edit my fucking ass off. I used to like write fucking thousand words long scripts. I used to edit like videos like for fucking 30 hours. Like, the videos were relatively high production for me, for my standard at least. And when I did that, my thinking was that, like, oh shit, I can do this, I'm special, I'm not like other people. Other people fail because they're not like me, so I'm gonna make it. And so the total, what happened is that for like maybe a year and a half, I tried to grind YouTube, and I just couldn't, because I would always fucking I would always fucking like abandon projects. I would like have I would say like semi burnouts, because it wasn't like a real burnout that I couldn't work anymore, but it was like if I just thought about making videos, I just had almost a feeling like I was gonna puke, because I was so fucking hard on myself, because obviously if you're special then you cannot afford to fuck up. So I was really hard on myself. I was really ironically really unproductive, because at every step I was judging what I was doing, so I was exhausted all the fucking time. And the total is that, like, the result of all of this is that I made maybe I made like 15 videos in a year and a half, something like that. I got maybe 800 subscribers. I had a video that actually did quite well, like 60,000 views, I think. But overall, like, I think we can all agree that for 1 year and a half of almost dedicating my life to this, 15 videos is not a lot. It's fucking a horrible, like, time to videos product. Like, the ratio of time to videos made is fucking horrible. The ratio of videos made to views is pretty good, but the ratio of videos made to of time invested to views is horrible. So yeah, so basically that whole thing was a fucking disaster. And the main reason why it was a disaster is because, again, once again, of that thinking that, oh shit, I'm special, I'm distant to something greater, I'm not like everyone else. And this thinking basically fucked up my fucking year, and my fucking, to a certain extent, my YouTube quote unquote career. Because I'm pretty sure if I didn't put as much, like, pressure on me, I'm not saying I would have been a big YouTuber, not at all, but I sure as hell would have made more than 15 videos. Because at the end of the at the end of the day, I don't care about the numbers. For me, it's like, how many videos can you make in a month, in a year? Like, if I made in a year and a half, if I made like 40 videos, then that's fucking fire, right? Because you get better and better in at every time you upload. Most likely you get more and more views too, more and more subscribers, and it's like, it's good. It's a self self-feeding circle, if that makes sense. I don't know how to say it in English. Yeah, it's self-feeding, it's auto-sufficient. You get a lot of external stimulus, you get a lot of motivation to keep going, because it's like a machine, right? And I would have loved to be able to be that dude, and I don't care if I would have gotten like fucking 50 views per video. I don't give a fuck. My whole thing, what I'm trying to say is that just making videos without being in fucking pain and fucking hating myself was actually the real dream all along. Like, I thought the dream was to make it. I thought the dream was to fucking become rich off YouTube or whatever. But what I really understood, and I found out with time, is that the dream was just to make videos with a certain amount of peace of mind, and just do it for fun, man. Like, because one thing you gotta understand is that I used to make videos when I was like 12 years old or 11 years old, and almost in my life I never felt as much joy as when I played video games and as when I made videos. And so I decided to combine both of these things and make videos about gaming. And I really had a blast doing it when I was 12, 13 years old. And more like 11, 12 years old, not I think about it. But yeah, and so I tried to replicate that shit when I was a little bit older, and it didn't work, because in the meantime, between the age of 11, 12 years old to the age of 16, 17, maybe 17, 18, I don't remember when I started my channel, but in between those times, I became a person that was obsessed with my intelligence, with my future. I was thinking all the time about the future of my life, where I was going. I was obsessed with the fact that all my life people told me I was special. And so I kind of had a chip on my shoulder, and it ruined everything. Everything about YouTube. It ruined everything. I had fun for maybe like 6 out of 15 videos. Like all the rest was fucking horrible. I had to like whip myself to continue. And but by the way, when I say I had to whip myself, it's not even like hyperbolic or like a like literally. Sometimes I was recording a video and I would like stutter, or I would fuck up certain words, and I would slap myself in the face because I was like, how the fuck can you stutter? You're better than this. Fucking man up, you fucking bitch. That was kind of my thing. And I would slap myself in the face because every time I did something that was like embarrassing, or that I fucked up in any way or shape or form, it went against the idea that I was special and that I was talented and that I was super intelligent and that I would be someone great. Because after all, someone great cannot afford to do mistakes, and that was my whole fucking retarded ass thinking. Which, by the way, even if right now I kind of slowly but surely abandon the idea that I'll be someone great in life and I just want to become someone that's happy, even then, the the idea that someone great cannot do any mistakes is so fucking retarded. Like, there's almost every not almost everybody who did something great in life has failed a bunch of times before. Like, it's almost a requirement for greatness. And I feel like greatness is not as much a or are you talented or are you not talented. It's more of how fucking strong are you as a person to take the blows and fucking get your hopes shattered, and fucking how many times can you dig yourself out of a hole, basically. I feel like that's the main the main difference between somebody that's gonna do something great, that's gonna quote unquote make it, and somebody that's not gonna make it. I feel that like the main difference is sheer drive and hunger, not really talent. Although talent is obviously fucking cool. Like, if you're talented, obviously that's awesome for you, but the main factor is not are you special or whatever, is are you a fucking hard worker. And the biggest thing is, do you love it? Do you love what you're doing? Because if you love what you're doing, like, deeply, then fucking it could, almost anything could happen, and you'll still be doing it, right? And so, yeah, my point basically, because I'm kind of rambling right now, but my point basically is that not only is the thinking that you're special and that I don't know, there's a reason for a mental illness or whatever. Not only is that thinking bad in terms of, because it's gonna postpone your healing process, but also in certain activities, and I'm sure it translates to other activities, like, because it was this. Also, I'm a quote unquote game developer. I don't like to say this, but I make games on my free time sometimes, and even when I made games, it was the same thing. If I couldn't figure out how to solve a certain coding problem, I would fucking hate myself. So I'm pretty sure that problem translates to many spheres of life. And so, like, not only is it bad for you because it postpones your healing process, but it's also bad for you in a day-to-day basis, and it's probably going to, ironically, make sure you're never going to be special. Because to be special, to really accomplish something that is remarkable, special, and out of the ordinary, well, a lot of the time you got to work really, 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 really hard. And if your whole life you've been conditioned to think that things gotta be easy and things gotta be smooth because you are special, you are smarter than everyone else, and therefore you should be able to complete tasks with less effort than everyone else, then this whole mental circuitry that is built throughout your whole life is needs to be rewarded. It needs to be totally rewarded from the ground up. And this is what I'm trying to do slowly. But what I'm saying is that it's the most ironic shit ever, but the thinking that you're special, that life should come easy for you, will almost inevitably make this thinking would almost inevitably make sure that you'll never become something special, that you'll live at your mama's house at fucking 26, 27 years old, and that you'll be depressed all the time, that you'll have no friends, and that you'll have trouble succeeding in your careers and shit. Because at the end of the day, if you base your ability to complete and to do things on an external force that isn't yours, and that external force is, let's say, your intelligence, or your intelligence, sorry, or your specialness, quote unquote, then in that case you are a slave to your specialness. Now, I know this is an abstract concept maybe, but what I'm trying to say is that if let's say I say to you that you are a very hard worker, well, this is not an external thing, this is internal. You are a hard worker. Therefore, you are able to endure a lot of punches without flinching. You know what I mean when I say punches? Like, it's metaphorically, but like you can go to work fucking 50 hours a week and still, have a certain amount of hunger. This is a hard worker. This is you are that, But if I tell someone you are intelligent, then it's not really you. You do not choose to be intelligent. You do not work towards becoming intelligent. You are intelligent or you are not intelligent. And obviously, if you start to read a lot of books and to become a little bit more knowledgeable about things, you can appear more intelligent. But your base IQ will always remain the same. You know what I mean? So being intelligent is something that is completely out of your control. You are not responsible for your intelligence, and therefore you should not be proud of it, and you should not trust it as your guide of life. You know what I mean? And so yeah, and the reason why I'm talking so much about intelligence is because I feel like a lot of people who think that way are people that, I don't know if they are intelligent, but at least they've been told they are intelligent, or that they are special in a way. So either they are intellectually intelligent, or maybe it's emotionally intelligent, or maybe like they learn piano at a very young age. I mean, and they're very good at piano. Maybe they're very good at making beats. Maybe they're very good at singing. But they have something that made them special early on, and it often has something to do with intelligence. That's a pattern that I see often, and this is why I talk so much about intelligence. So yeah, and I want to kind of end this video on a final note, which is like, maybe some of you are thinking right now, okay, but like some people are just like made like this, like they don't talk to a lot of people because they are sort of made like this, and it's not because they're socially anxious, it's not because they're depressed, it's just they are made like this. And I would say that is true. And the real important factor and the real determining factor to me is your relation towards people, your internal feelings toward people. Like, if you're watching this video right now and you're wondering, I wonder, am I somebody that's like that has a problematic relationship towards people, and this is the reason why I'm lonely, or is it just that I'm built like that? Well, I feel like the answer is quite easy, and the way to know that answer is quite simple. It's when you're in a conversation with people, how do you feel inside? Do you feel fear of judgment? Do you feel like you're gonna say something stupid? Do you feel, are your palms sweaty? Do you stutter a lot? Internally, is your mind racing? Are you calm? Um, do you hate people? Do you despise people? If you answer yes to a lot of these things I said, then your relationship towards people is problematic. But on the other hand, if you are relatively calm inside when you talk to people, if you and this is very rare. So if this is you, if you think this is you, then you need to make sure that you're not lying to yourself. But if this is you, like you are calm as fuck when you talk to people, you kind of care about what they think, but not really, and you just the main reason why you don't talk to people is just because you kind of like being in your own head or whatever. You just don't like presence that much, the people's presence that much. But it's not like because you hate them or whatever. It's just because you're kind of a lone wolf, quote unquote. If you're that rare type of dude that is like that, then okay, in that case, I guess you can sort of make some excuses for yourself. But for 99.9% of us, the problem is totally explainable. I mean, it's easy to explain. It's either related to trauma, um, fear of judgment, both. Maybe you fucking hate yourself. Maybe you're fat. Like me, for example, for me, it was one of my main thing is that I was fat, and I'm fat. But the fact that I'm fat was like a deterrent for people in my mind, at least. I was like, oh shit, people are gonna find me fucking disgusting, and therefore I will, in every conversation, I will need to convince people that I'm not a disgusting piece of shit. That was kind of my whole thing. And for some people, it's gonna be because they have a lot of pimples in their face. For some people, it's gonna be because they have ugly ass hair or they're fucking balding or whatever. But my point is that there's gonna be sometimes a very deep reason, sometimes a superficial reason as to why you are extremely socially awkward. For me, it's years and years and years and years of conditioning that made me like this, I believe. And I feel like by the way, I'm not saying that introverted people don't exist. I want to make that absolutely clear. Um, Being introverted is a concept that absolutely exists, and it's absolutely benign, and there's no problem with being introverted. But we need to clearly define what is being introverted. Being introverted doesn't mean you never leave your fucking room. You see like two people per week, and like when you go out to grab your fucking DoorDash order, you're almost in sweat because you're going to have to talk to your delivery driver. That's not being introverted. What's being introverted is basically the simple idea that being in most of the time, at least, because even introverted people have extroverted moments, but most of the time, being in social gatherings will drain your battery, quote unquote, more than it will fill it. And being extroverted, it's the contrary. Being in a social environment will oftentimes make you energized, and for an introvert, it's gonna make you tired. That's the main thing about being introverted. It doesn't mean you cannot talk to people. It doesn't mean you cannot have meaningful relationships, and it doesn't mean you have to be an antisocial retard freak. Okay, like I want to make that absolutely clear. That this is not what, because that's a lot of people say, oh, no, I'm not socially anxious, I'm not depressed, I don't have any problems, I'm just introverted. No, the fuck you're not. If you don't go out of your room, if you see like fucking 4 people a week, including your mom, like motherfucker, you are not introverted. Like maybe you are introverted, but it is not the main factor as to why you are fucking miserable and as to why you don't see people. So anyway, what I want to say is, don't romanticize mental illness. Don't romanticize being. Don't romanticize suffering as a, like like period. Just don't romanticize suffering, because suffering often has no meaning, and therefore like there's no reason to romanticize that shit. And don't think you are special. For the love of God and for yourself, do not think you are special. This will break you more than it will help you, I promise you. And yeah, so that was my little rant. And yeah, thanks for listening to me.